I think Weymouth's got a great live music scene like that, and especially on like bank holidays and stuff. Like it's not hard to pack out a pub, and it's just a great atmosphere, really.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very lucky this evening to be able to talk to the Speedway Snails. Hi, guys.
Hiya.
Good evening.
Luckily, through the magic of technology, through Zoom, we're doing this. And how's the lockdown been treating you? Should we start off with, who have we got? We've got Elliot, Matt and Tom. Elliot, how's it going for you?
I've sort of been working through it part-time down at ETR on the Granby, but I've still been playing lots of guitar, and I've been started brewing cider, which has been quite fun. And just not a lot really, but it's been nice. The weather's been nice, and it's been peaceful.
Yeah.
Good.
Good description.
How about you, Matt?
Well, I've been at home for 13 weeks. So I've been homeschooling and working at home on the laptop at the kitchen table mainly. So I've been sat in one spot and then trying to get exercise and get the kids schooled at the same time. It has its challenges. Everyone's got them.
That's it, yeah. And Tom?
I've been a mixture of working, homeschooling, and playing a lot of guitar actually. Which has been quite nice. But yeah, not a lot else. But like I say, the weather's been really nice, and it's been kind of in a weird way, sort of a little bit relaxing because there's no pressure of having to do anything because you can't do anything. So it's just let go with it, and that's it. You can't do anything and just be lazy. Really.
I love how some of you mentioned that you're trying to keep up with your music and doing things as well whilst you're in lockdown. For those who don't know, can one of you tell me a little bit about who we got that make it the band and what instruments you play and what you will do?
You want to go with that,
I'll
Matt?
make a start. Yeah, I'll go with that one. So we are the Speedway Snails, and sometimes we're just called Speedies. So it depends on what the pub wants to put on the sign. And we've been going since about 2004, I think, thereabouts. So 15 years or so. And we've had that long. And we've had a few different lineups over the years, but currently we've got Tom on bass, Elliot on guitar, and Jacob on drums.
And what do? Are you singing?
I am the singer.
The singer.
Yeah. Well, Tom sings as well.
So how did you come up with the name Speedway Snails? Where did that come from? Because it's quite a unique name.
Badly. It came up with that badly, I think.
Yeah. What happens when you do a democratic vote? We wrote down a load of names that just popped into our heads, and I got people to choose their top 10 or whatever. The only one that we all chose was the Speedway Snails. So that was of 158 different names.
It was no one's favourite, though, was it?
No one's favourite.
No one's favourite. It was just like, yeah, all right, but it was the only one we all ticked. And we're like,
I would have shuffled them about and tried it again.
Chose your favourite and told everyone that's what they chose.
Yeah. I don't think of any. I didn't remember it. I don't remember ticking that one. There was such a long list. But anyway.
Yeah. A lot of different names to choose from. I think Blue Tit Nesting Box was one of the suggestions.
That's like an old version of the so you can do that on the internet now. It's like band name generator, and it just like muddles up two words.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it. When you guys sort of formed Speedway Snails and you've been going, I can't believe you've been going for that many years. 2004. That's amazing.
No.
Yeah.
I can't believe it either, really.
Yeah, that's pretty mental.
Yeah. How would you describe your style of music?
Because go on, Tom, you do it.
Upbeat, bit quirky. It's changed over the years. We've sort of honed it or found stuff that gets the crowd going, really. I think we were a lot heavier and a bit more experimental when we started. playing a lot of stuff that we just liked and we just assumed other people would. Yeah. Well, how would
it
you
was more
describe it, Matt?
self-indulgent. I would say
Yeah.
that initially we were quite self-indulgent as we played what we wanted to play, which stretched our skills and talents at the time. So back then we had John and Andy. John was the co-founder of the band on guitar, and Andy came in as our first drummer. So yeah, I think it was a little bit self-indulgent, but we found some tracks that we've still got in the set now that come back in occasionally. They get cycled around because they're just too good. They're what we call bankers.
I think
They always go down well.
I think we've got a nice selection of self-indulgent tunes and also like punter tunes, like songs that you want to hear, have a few drinks and have a dance to, really.
Yeah, and it's energetic enough that it goes down well in a pub, and we can fiddle around with the set a little bit, and it'll go down well for a birthday, 50th, 60th. I don't know if we've done a 70th yet. We've done weddings and balls and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, people tend to enjoy it.
That's always good.
It's fun.
That's what you want. I loved also on your Facebook page that on your little blurb it says that you guys want to conquer the world.
Yeah, I stepped up to write that. Yeah, it does say that. Tom hasn't looked at it for a while. Yeah, take over the world, which isn't as big as we thought.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, the world being Weymouth, I think we've not ventured too much further because we're a tin pot local pub band.
I love though that you guys are so active in Weymouth and Portland. It seems like you're out almost every weekend, sort of pre-lockdown, being very busy, and especially on the festivals as well.
Oh yeah, we've tried to get lined up as much as possible, and there's been a lot more interest over the last few years. I think the word's got out a bit more, and I think it's just going well. So
what are your plans sort of post-lockdown then? Because obviously right now we can't go out and we can't do gigs and we can't see bands. So sort of what's your hopes moving through?
Elliot, do you want to have a stab at this?
I'll give it a go. I suppose we have dates booked for the year and stuff for next year, both public and private functions. We just love to go slot straight back in. I expect there's a lot of bands in Weymouth that are itching to get back out there on the circuit and that, and we just want to kick right back into it, really. Like Tom said, and myself as well, I've been playing probably more guitar than I usually do, because just in my bedroom sort of thing. But it's been great, really.
I don't think I've played the bass at all.
Just the guitar. Well, it's a kind of guitar.
Yeah, well, it's hard to plan when you don't know, how it's going to come together, really. So just have to
exactly, and we've got to follow the guidelines and everything before we can all get together. I think at the moment it's deciding when we are a workplace and when we can come together as work colleagues, as it were, to do the practicing again and find a venue that will allow us in. That's quite tough, and we don't want people to think, the police to turn up and say, why are you having fun? And we have to tell them, well, it's work. We're actually doing this because we're trying to employ ourselves. So that's the juxtaposition. People have been doing gigs on their driveways, solo acts and stuff. We've not had that ability because the gear is at the wrong person's house at the moment, and we've not been able to publish on the internet unless you're Elliot, because you just get your phone and your guitar and that's it, set the thing on fire and off you go.
Yeah, I haven't done any live streams, so I've still been working full time. But at the weekends, I like to do the odd video now and then, and that just to, don't know, bit of fun.
Instead,
yeah.
What's your plug your YouTube, Elliot?
Oh, my YouTube is Elliot O'Brien Guitar. It's just got a lot of self-indulgent sort of, some of my own interests, sort of like bluesy, jazzy sort of stuff. But check it out, Elliot O'Brien Guitar.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's it. Especially because you know, it means that your fans can at least see some stuff of what you're doing during the lockdown, because of course we can't come see you at the moment.
Be interesting to see how things do come back. Obviously the venues will have taken a hit, and some people won't be so keen to mix with people, so it's going to be interesting to see how it does come back.
Yeah, I suppose I heard in July there's going to be pubs opening with, like, obviously with social distancing measures, but whether they'll be able to book bands. But I suppose then again, bands bring in punters, but yeah, I think a little bit soon for that at the moment, but unfortunately. But
a lot of pubs have suffered because they've not been able to pay themselves. Even the management have had to furlough or let the staff go, and they haven't been able to pay themselves in all this time. And there's revenue that needs to be made, so paying out for a band may not be what they want to do. Depends on how adventurous they're going to be.
And also punters, really. How many people are going to want to come out, and how many people have actually got money to spend coming out?
Yeah, how much courage they have, and then how much Dutch courage they can imbibe.
I think local bands might do a bit better on, like, private functions, like stuff like birthdays or like weddings and marquees and that, and like sort of because I think we've got a couple of functions coming up which may go ahead because they're sort of outside marquee based. But
just have to see.
Yeah.
The depressing thing is how good it was at the time of lockdown. Things were looking really, really up. We had probably 45 gigs booked in, something like that. We've lost so many, and so many have been pushed over to next year. We're lucky that those that have been pushed over to next year have been. But so all the pub gigs just gone. Don't even have a conversation about them. You know you can't go in the pub and do them. So that's that. They've gone, just dropped off the edge. And we just hope that we can get all of that back again. Who knows?
That's it. Yeah, definitely. I think especially because there's a real special atmosphere when you're able to go to like a local gig. It's small and it's compact and people can have a really, really good time, especially sort of before the lockdown and everything. For you, what was the best bit about doing a local gig? What's the best thing about performing?
Tom?
The best thing about the local gigs is not having to travel, I think.
Nail on the head.
But I mean, just the crowd, everyone enjoying it and getting, having fun.
I think Weymouth's got a great live music scene like that, and especially on like bank holidays and stuff. Like it's not hard to pack out a pub, and it's just a great atmosphere, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously the playing side of it as well is like that's why we do it, really. But it's good.
For us, it's like we can always get a party out of it. Every gig is like a party, and people are there to enjoy themselves. And with any luck, that's what happens. So we've seen it again and again. It's what keeps us coming back. It's what keeps people coming back, and we're really grateful for the opportunity to be able to do it. Just hope that all comes back. That's
it. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really appreciate the time that you've taken to speak to me.
No, thank you.
What's the best way for people to be able to follow you and keep up to date with what you guys are getting up to?
It'd be on Facebook, really.
Yeah, Facebook. You can contact us like through Facebook inbox, and also we have a YouTube channel, don't we? I think you've had the same YouTube channel from the beginning, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. So there's loads and loads of videos up that stretch back over the years with different lineups. I believe that the music that you're going to hear that we've played previously in the studio will be with our last lineup, which included Clive, who was the drummer at the time. So we're going to have to come back in and do another show with Chalky, with Jacob, the newest member of the band. We always treat the Speedway Snails as a family. Anyone who's ever been in the band is still, very much part of the family. and people jump in and jump out as they need to cover for people. Not as much as some other bands, perhaps, but that's the wish. And yeah, let's get back in there with Jacob, shall we, Kaylee?
Definitely, you should do it. I'll have to let Amy know that you guys are ready.
Yeah, great.
So if they wanted to check you out on Facebook or YouTube, is it all under the name Speedway Snails?
Yes.
Fantastic. Love you. It's been great to talk to you today, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.
All right,
Thank you very much, Kaylee.
Thank you very much. Cheers.